And so, ladies and gentlemen, our fifth match of the evening is for the FCC Amateur Middleweight Championship to be fought over 5 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. So introducing first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the cage tonight with a mixed martial arts record of 5 victories, no defeats, representing MMA Academy from Liverpool, Mark Kinsella. And his opponent standing across the cage, he is the current reigning and defending FCC Amateur Welterweight Champion. He enters the cage with a mixed martial arts record of 8 victories, 2 defeats, representing FCPC Kinsella. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Dean Weir.
Referee Dean Weir about to get this one underway. 5 3-minute rounds if they need them in the FCC Amateur Welterweight Division. The champion, Chris Senior, defending his title against the challenger, Mark Kinsella. Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer calling the action. And Josh, a lot of backstory to this one. These two gentlemen were scheduled to fight once before. Chris Senior, unfortunately, came down with an illness on fight day. And there has been a fair bit of bad blood and trash talk between the pair since. A nice head kick from Kinsella to start things off.
Yeah, I think
Senior rushing in though, immediately shutting his man down.
I think Senior was lucky that, you know, it was just on the end of the reach. He had to get right up on his tiptoes, and that took some of the power out of the kick. Completes a nice takedown, and he looks to crawl through to this half guard here.
Senior has some good wrestling chops. Strong grappling base. Kinsella perhaps has the edge on the feet in the kickboxing phase. Senior looking to bully his man on the mat here though, Josh. There's Kinsella with a nice sweep though.
Yeah, it sort of moved to a deep half guard position and used the momentum to whip up on top. Let's see what he can do from half guard here. Got the cage to contend with, just to throw an extra dynamic into the mix. Both men choosing to keep their half guards very heavy on the upper body. The Senior looking to try and shuffle his body down onto the leg. He's going to try and rock him all the way over, using the legs for momentum, but instead recovers guard.
And Chris Senior has been in some back and forth fights here at FCC before. A fantastic contest against Andreas Trichomaitis, the judo international, to win the title.
Kinsella with some good posture to land some strikes there. You saw Senior forced to bring that knee shield in and try and extend the range away.
Nice punch from Kinsella there. Senior doing a good job at tying his man up though and trying to get out from underneath his man.
Yeah, close guard for Senior. He's got head and arm control. See what he can do with it.
And Senior's FCC Amateur Lightweight title on the line, but perhaps the bragging rights for this one just as important, Josh.
Yeah, Kinsella trying to find his way through, but not able. Foot on the hip. Let's see if he pivots off here. Kinsella disengages and sits to half guard. And this is a different type of half guard for him. Here he's looking to pin and punch. You can see again Senior trying to go under that leg, roll his man all the way over the top of him. It's a good sweep if you can get it, but you do need to get low and underneath your opponent. And if they can post on your face, you drive it away.
Final 10 seconds of the round. Are we going to see a strong finish from Kinsella?
Really good round for Mark Kinsella there. It looked as though he was going to be on his back, but managed to sweep very effectively. Stayed on top, landed, you know, some good strikes, nothing too damaging, but they were there. There was intent to progress, intent to strike the whole time.
Points on the board for Mark Kinsella. But we've seen Chris Senior in these sorts of positions before. He endured a hellish early start against Andreas Trichomaitis, came back with a fantastic win in that one, and he's going to be on the back foot as far as points are concerned heading into the second round here.
It almost looked for a second as though Senior was complaining about his hand to his coach in his corner. Took a look at the glove and his coach kind of said, don't worry.
Interesting to see how that alters the dynamic of the fight, if it does at all. We're speaking to Chris Senior earlier on today, and he said that the game plan was to go in, maybe have a wrestle with Kinsella in that first round, but then Senior's really been working on some interesting striking combinations, interesting feints. And let's see how he can bring that to bear in the second round, or, as you mentioned, Josh, the possibility of a hand injury there. Let's see how that's going to affect things.
Well, we didn't see too much striking in the first round, but they're opening up quickly here. Kinsella just looking a little bit unsure of himself on his feet there.
Senior feeling out the range there with that soft low kick.
Senior does box a lot more upright.
Caught the kick and landed a nice right hand behind it. This is part of the game plan he was talking about earlier today. Letting the kicks go against Kinsella. And as you say, Josh, Kinsella looking slightly less sure of himself than he did in that first frame. And again, Senior catching the kick and looking to charge in, bulldoze his man onto the fence.
Tried to step across for the throw. He's got double unders here, and he used those very well for that first takedown in the previous round. Pummeling for head position.
Kinsella turns his man onto the cage, though. We really didn't expect Kinsella to take the lead in the grappling and wrestling phase of the fight, but he's looking more than comfortable thus far. Searching for a takedown. A Senior pulling guard here, Josh.
Well, that's interesting, going straight for the hook under the leg, possibly looking for an arm or the sweep. Brought the knee shield in here, but he's going to have trouble extending with the cage, blocking his head.
And it really is a roll of the dice, especially in these amateur contests with the 3-minute rounds. Pulling guard can leave you in a very precarious position if your opponent's just content to stay heavy.
Yeah, you really don't have a long time to work, and you saw Kinsella stopping those first few. If he just disengages here and drives his hips forward and stands over the top of him, it's going to completely nullify any guard work that Chris Senior is going to be able to do.
Good work there from Mark Kinsella. And again finds himself in the driving seat on the ground. Senior comfortable from his back, though. But it has to be said, Kinsella looking very much in the driving seat in this title fight so far.
Yeah, doing the better of the work overall, and as you can see, this second round, much like the first, we're in top position. He can stay heavy, he can maintain that position, he can try and land some strikes. I mean, you see now he's posturing, he's wrapping that overhook up, and every time Senior tries to get up on a hip and work, Kinsella pushes him back down.
Interesting to know, though, Josh, in both rounds, it was Chris Senior who was the instigator in terms of trying to get the fight to the mat. He was reversed in the first round, he jumped guard in the second. I wonder now how many times the FCPC man is going to roll the dice on that technique. Kinsella wading in with some big punches there at the end of the second round.
I think that's undoubtedly two rounds to none for Mark Kinsella. Two solid rounds for him as well, and you know, it's been pretty much the same blueprint. You know, earn that top position, however that may come about, and maintain it and land some damage. And it's nice to see him working on top. He is looking to progress. He is looking to strike. You know, he isn't just staying heavy, but he is also staying heavy.
Interesting stuff in the first two frames. We're about to enter the third. They will be 5 3-minute rounds if they need them. And Mark Kinsella has to be happy with his work so far as he looks to wrest the FCC amateur welterweight title from the grasp of Chris Senior. In the corner there with Jason Tanner, mainstay of the UK MMA scene for many years, a UFC veteran. Martin Stapleton, another international fighter, in the corner of Chris Senior. course, Stapleton has competed on FCC a number of times as a professional, has fought in Bellator in the USA, and of course other promotions here in Europe. The current BAMA champion in your corner is no bad thing to have.
Not at all. Again, you can see Kinsella leans so much further forward here, really puts a lot of weight over that front foot. And when we said before that he looked unsure on the feet, it's perhaps just his movement's very stuttered. Doesn't look as fluid and as flowy, perhaps, as the footwork of Senior, but that doesn't necessarily mean his strikes are being ineffective. He is landing some pretty good shots.
We saw that push kick there and the front kick to the face a few moments ago. That was something Senior was drilling this morning. Wonder if we're going to see a few more flashy kick attempts from the FCPC man as he looks to take Kinsella out of his comfort zone. Big winging right hand just wide of the mark from Senior there.
Yeah,
nice head movement.
I think Kinsella has the slightly longer reach. Be good to see him try and use it a bit more. Senior, now he's going to try another takedown here. Let's see if he can be successful and maintain that top position for the first time in this fight. In on the single leg now, looking to reap the ankle away.
And that really will be key, Josh, if Chris Senior can keep that top position. And already he's on the bottom.
And he's pulled half guard, the knees coming straight through the middle for the passing option. Looking to go to mount that quarter guard. Not really going to help Chris Senior too much here unless he can get on his hip and start moving it. Full mount now for Kinsella.
Perilous position here for Chris Senior. He gives the back to get away from those punches. Kinsella pounding away here, Josh.
Yeah, and you can see he's maintained. He never gave up that left underhook. You know, he was throwing the big strikes, but he knows what he needs to maintain that position. The hooks are in tight. He's always got one underhook on the arm to help support. Pounding away now.
Big punches from Mark Kinsella.
Oh, and that
Senior could be in trouble here, Josh.
Yeah,
the referee's taking a good look at this. Senior will have to do something. Kinsella's around the throat. Rear naked choke. This could be it.
Can't quite see the grip he's got. He did everything right to open up the choke there.
Mark Kinsella looking for the finish. He's got the arm under the throat, just trying to readjust here, Josh.
Well,
Senior fighting the hands now.
It's going to be hard to finish with one hand. He should be clawing that left hand up onto the collarbone as much as he can. Adjust for the short grip, and now this is tight.
Short choke here from Mark Kinsella, but again, he releases the hold and Chris Senior survives. Senior looking for a sweep, not successful, and Kinsella pounding away from that top position.
Smart, he didn't waste any time. He went straight back to the strikes, and he's under the throat this time. Hand is behind the head. This one is going to be it.
Senior looking to defend that choke, and it's all over. With 1 second left in the round, Mark Kinsella submits Chris Senior with a rear naked choke. Mark Kinsella is the new FCC amateur welterweight champion. Senior's reign is over. Kinsella's begins. What a fantastic performance, Josh.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, once that fight was on the ground, his top position was excellent, you know, and he saw the opportunities to progress his position at the same time as mixing in the strikes, and it was that level of aggression. He never settled into a position as well, you know, took the back, you know, through the strikes, tried the choke, through the strikes, came back to mount, through the strikes. It was just a good work rate and maintaining that top position that got the job done for him.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, at a time of 2 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round, your winner by rear naked choke in the blue corner, a new FCC amateur welterweight champion, Mark Kinsella. And let's hear it for his opponent. Let's hear it for Chris Senior. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a 15-minute interval, just a chance to check out all the fantastic opportunities and offers that our sponsors tonight, Animosity, have for us available. They're just over by the door. Go and say hello and see what's on offer.